inside the off stump. Oh, he's caught it! I don't believe it! Tom Kohler-Cadmore has caught the most magnificent catch. That short third man is the end of Daniel Sams, and Somerset have won the Vitality Blast 2023. They've bowled Essex out for 131.
Good morning, you're listening to Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. This is the Somerset Cricket Podcast. My name's Ian Shepherd. Joining me after a tortuous night in Taunton, I've got making his debut this season. I've got Harry Everett and also club president Peter Wanless. And Peter, we finally have a name. Long live the Sean Dickson Party Barn.
That's right. It's going to be very difficult to call it anything else after last night's extraordinary heroics. I did really want to broadcast from there this morning, but I just can't get the internet signal strong enough in that wing of the mansion, and so I've retired indoors to the usual place.
Oh, brilliant. And Harry, we were sat together that last 10, 15 overs of the Somerset innings. I wasn't going to move. You didn't move. But Christ, did we move at the end? I mean...
what you got to
a
hold me back, didn't you? I think I was going to jump off that balcony, Shep. I was slightly worried. I'm a bit scared of heights. That Thatcher's deck, I was nearly landing on Richard Bryce and Chris Rue in the box below, but unbelievable scenes.
Yeah.
Just can't get over it, really. I just still think about it now. I don't think I slept all night. Just Sean Dickson going through my head.
Yeah. I mean, just the pure adrenaline. I didn't get to sleep till about 1:15. I mean, I looked at my heart rate's normally about 65, 70. When I looked at my watch in that last over, it was 105. So that's the tension and the drama that Somerset County Cricket Club, possibly the cardiovascular damage that Somerset County Cricket Club could do to you as well over the years.
I was hosting 11 people from Warwickshire, and so I was completely surrounded by folk who...
Birmingham Bears, Peter, the Birmingham Bears.
We call them Warwickshire.
Bears.
We call them
Bears, is it?
They've changed the name the last 4 years from Warwickshire to Birmingham Bears to the Bears to Bears. Oh, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, call them Warwickshire.
Whatever they're called, they were taking advantage of our hospitality and being extremely... undiplomatically jubilant for large chunks of that game, rather in the way I've misbehaved at away grounds around the country down the ages. So it was a particularly curious sort of last few balls where I had exactly that delirium that you're mentioning, and there's just no way you can hold it in, is there? No. So I think there was some strained relationship at the end, and then everyone realised cricket's the winner at the end of the day, isn't it? Well, not really, because Bears have made a real habit of screwing up these quarterfinals, haven't they? And
5 in a row, isn't it? 5 screw-ups in a row?
5 in a row. I mean, let's just talk about that. I mean, irrespective of last night's game, as whatever they're called, fan, having finals day at your home ground 2 minutes down the road and not making it 5 years in a row, I mean, you've got to feel for them, haven't you? It must be absolutely galling. I mean, if you reverse that, and that was we had finals day at Taunton and Somerset just kept losing quarterfinals, you'd be utterly inconsolable. And I would imagine after the way that it just swung last night, I think I saw somebody posted a graphic of how the Winbies went throughout the innings, and it was sort of up there towards them, and then it just went jump like that, which was Sean Dickson smashing however many sixes he hit in a row. So for them to get that close and fail again, you've got to feel for them, haven't you? I mean, it's irrespective of how
a little bit, but also the way they were sort of talking earlier on in the evening with this sort of sense of entitlement and expectation. I mean, on the one hand, they keep saying we play too much cricket. On the other hand, another great day at their home ground to watch finals day, and they're going to be going anyway, irrespective of who's there. And you sort of think, well, we've got rather a sort of relative dearth of top class matches to watch. And a tiny bit of me was thinking, well, wouldn't it be lovely if finals day was at Taunton from time to time? Of course, we haven't got the capacity and all the rest of it, but having said that, yes, it is like hosting a party at your house, which you're not invited to.
Not invited to.
It's
I
kind
had
of like,
that
I don't know,
exact same
it's
conversation.
like
Yeah.
owning a pub and hosting your ex-wife's wedding reception or something like that, isn't it?
I'm quite good friends with Jake Lintop from back in the day. He used to play for my little village, so I ended up spending quite a few hours in Mambo with him last night. And Alex Davies, obviously the Warwickshire captain, who spent all that last over, arguably time wasting, but trying to change the field. Fair enough. And to his credit, he did bat very well. I mean, Ben Green's wicket of Alex Davies was massive. I thought it was very good from Greener, and I generally thought he could have got a big 100. But Jake said to me, "Look, Harry, no cricket chat, no cricket chat. The last thing I want to talk about is cricket." So I gave it 5 minutes, and I was like, "Well, why did you bowl Barnard for the last over? Where was he trying to bowl it? What was he doing here? Where?" And I just, I just went every question down the line, and then they're like trying to change the
Have you not
conversation.
got a black eye after that, Obi?
Well, I don't know. Dan Mosley didn't bowl at all. There was some weird. Dan Mosley's pretty useful T20 bowler with sort of quick Yorkers and change-ups. Linter only bowled 1 over. I don't know, I just thought it was a bit of an odd one, really. I mean, Ollie hadn't done very well.
Are we seeing the value of Lewis Gregory's leadership?
Yes.
In that he can make the right decision under pressure more often than any other of the other 17 captains in the Blast.
As much as everyone says how shite the Sky Sports commentary is, and the amount of people who say it's embarrassing, wish we could have had local commentators on it, I do hear one thing I've enjoyed this week is, I think it might have been Wednesday night during the Ravi Bopara innings, that one of them, I can't remember who it was probably Corky or Butch, said Lewis Gregory, one of the best county cricket captains. And I thought that was interesting because we often think they give a stick and they don't rate some set players, but I did notice that one positive line. And apparently they called Craig Overton Jamie Overton last night. My wife texted me, which I found quite embarrassing. Last year they called Sonny Baker, Casey Aldridge, and then Craig Overton in the space of the same bloody game. But that Lewis Gregory credit, I thought, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, because that last over, Davis was up and back to Barnard bowling. I think Lewis would have maybe left into it, trusted that they sorted their plans earlier in the innings or even before the game started about what they're going to bowl to Dickson. Maybe there was an element of just trying to put the pressure back on Dickson by just making him sweat a little bit, keeping him waiting. Didn't work.
I did ask him that, actually. Was it deliberate time-wasting tactics? And he said, no, I just need to know what ball he was going to bowl. Was he going to bowl in the slot again and get it for 6? And he's trying to work out how he could bowl in different areas. But you're right. Is it keeper's got to run a long way to the bowler? Lewis Gregory at mid-off, mid-on helps that. And MS Dhoni was, Gilchrist, I suppose, two of the most famous keeper captains maybe over the years. But is it, it's almost like he didn't trust his bowler, or they were so rattled, or the 4 previous quarterfinal losses, they just look rattled. Like, if you're a Warwickshire fan, like, wow, like, how can you keep losing quarterfinals? They had that game done. And a wide first ball to Craig Overton. There's so many turning points we can look back on.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a big wide as well. It was pretty close to the leg as well. So, little millimetre or so either way. It flicks it. It's not wide.
He did well to not touch it, actually. To actually get inside the line and get the wide was good from Craig, actually, because that one run could have been crucial.
I mean, it was a funny start to the game in the sense that 82 for 1 off the power play feels like absolute doom and gloom scenario. Oh my God, this is going to be 260 odd in the first innings, like we got against Derbyshire a few years back. But it never felt that the batters were that really on top. Cast your mind back when Liam Livingstone was going ballistic. Those 6s were going in the tone. They were going over the flats. TKC, when he's in 5th gear, over the Trade Nation stand, smashing tiles off the roof of the newly rechristened Sean Dickson stand. But not a single 6 in the entire innings.
That's mental, that.
And
incredible.
I just felt that nobody was really timing it, really getting on top and really completely dominant.
That's the first time ever in a professional T20 at Taunton, that is general stat fact. In all men's professional T20
Yeah.
at Taunton, there has never been a full 20 overs without a six. I mean, I
That's
felt like there
crazy.
was. You and I were sure there was a six, but Davies plinked a few like a foot short of the boundary. That they hit plenty in the
Yeah.
air that looked like they were six, just
Yeah.
obviously didn't quite go.
I know it's the nature of T20 cricket that, you know, sometimes you miss fielders and all that, but it felt like it was sort of amplified last night. That's what was happening. He's dropped by Will Smead.
Rice.
Yeah, there was
They're
just
hard, but yeah.
one was hard. One he would have probably wanted himself to get. And Meredith was putting him off for the first one, but just kind of missing fielders here and there. So didn't feel completely dominant.
I thought through their innings they ran a lot of good twos as well, and
Yeah.
we didn't. We seemed to, and so all the way through, my negativity was sort of kicking in. I hadn't noticed
So was
that.
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed there hadn't been a six. I'd seen that there'd been an awful lot of fours. I'd watched all these very well scampered twos, and then it sort of emerges between the innings there hasn't been a six, and you think, oh yeah, that must be why they haven't managed to get over 200. But then we come out and we seem to be finding the fielders in a way that they didn't. So it was going to take something exceptional and extraordinary in short order to rebalance. Well, they got 39 off their first 3 overs, and we got 39 off our last 3 overs.
But then he got 6 or 7 off the first, didn't he, off Craig? It was Riley Meredith donating 24 with 4 boundaries to Rob Yates of just bowling the same slot ball. You know, he never changed it up. I mean, personally, I've said it all along, I would never bowl Riley Meredith in the power play because he's too quick. With 2 men out, it's too quick. You can't necessarily control it. I love it when Craigo bowls 4 at the start.
Yeah.
Meredith bowls from the 12th over 4 to death. I love that system. Gregory, Green, Goldsworthy, the 3G boys, and Jake Ball can sort of slot in between. And Jake Ball had such a brilliant one-day cut. Give him the new ball and bowl at the other end to the death with Riley Meredith.
I think we might see a change up at finals day like that.
They might go Leach.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, should we talk about Jake Ball, because he sort of became the forgotten man, sent upon loan to Durham, and then sort of coming back, not playing a great deal of Champo cricket for us, bowling really well in the One Day Cup, and of course in the Blast now. What were his figures last night? 4 overs, 1 for 37, which doesn't look particularly good, but I thought he was instrumental, particularly in the power play, of just
clawing it back.
Yeah, and we bowled pretty, apart from those overs where all the 4s were being hit. I mean, there've been T20 games we've played this season where we've bowled 15 wides. So we didn't have any of that yesterday.
How many extras did we have? I remember the scoreboard said 0 at one point. Quite a long way in, there was 0 extras.
5, 4 leg byes and 1 wide.
That's not bad. That's pretty.
That's good.
That's pretty good for a quarter-final knockout as well. The nerves or pressure, whatever.
Yeah, showing a good, just great discipline, really, isn't it? I mean, well, what did they bowl? Well, they only bowled 6, so they bowled the extra wide, and that was the difference.
That was the Barnard Craig Overton one. I think.
Yeah, that was the difference.
I've been thinking that one not out from Craig was a candidate for President's Champagne Moment of the Year, but maybe Ed Barnard wide is another contender.
I think you might be getting daggers stared at you from Sean Dickson down on the table if you give it to Craig for his 1 not out, while he's merrily smoting it into the stands at the other end, playing one of the greatest knocks ever seen.
Someone tweeted me last night saying, Craig, you can have Jack Leach's 1 not out at Headingley, shove it up your arse, but have Craig Over's 1 not out, which I thought was quite over the top. As much as I loved Craig did very little. Anyone could have got that 1 down the ground and missed the wide. It was all Sean Dickson.
1 off 1, 12 minutes.
And
that was potentially an issue a couple of overs before, because Gregory and Green coming in, it felt like kind of pitch where you needed a few balls to get your motor running, and they didn't quite they weren't getting the boundaries, and they weren't getting the strike to Dickson, so that just kind of compounded things a little bit as well, and made things a little bit more difficult come the end. But
I can't remember many home T20s where neither Greener nor Gregory has sort of got hold of any
Yeah.
or looked good. You know what I mean? It seems very critical. You can't really expect your middle order biffers to come off every game, but pretty much always at home, particularly one of them comes off.
Well, Notts quarter final a couple of years ago. It was their big partnership.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
got us over the line.
Casey did Casey play that game?
No, Casey was Gloucester. Might have been the
Yes,
year
that's
after, or
good partnership.
maybe Casey and might have been Craig got us over the line against the Gloucesters. That'd been 2023 as well, I think, because I think they might have beaten us twice in 2024.
Yeah,
actually 3 times. Did we beat them 3 times this year? Yeah, we did. Happy days. Never mind.
Gibbo's got a bit cross a couple of times this season when Goldsworthy's come in ahead of Overton in the batting order. So
yeah, and then when he hit that big
was
6 at Hampshire.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So this time round they did follow his preferred batting order.
We were discussing it, weren't we, Shep? Yeah. As to which way they'd go. Part of me thinks Craig's so big, he runs 5 steps to run a single. Was that part of it as well?
Yeah, I mean, is that a factor?
Maybe, probably. He's probably quicker between the wickets.
I mean, they got so many analysts and all that. Will they be looking to say, well, in this situation, Craig Overton's longer legs means he can run a single 0.4 of a second faster than Lewis Goldsworthy, which is more valuable to us in getting Sean Dickson back on strike than it is Lewis Goldsworthy better technical skills.
I don't know what the word is, but when you're a fan, no offense to Lewis Golds, I love Lewis Goldsworthy, don't get me wrong, and I think he's an underrated batter, and I think he can do the job for us. But watching Craig Overton, there's no one that bounds to the crease in my entire watching Somerset career than Craig Overton. The way he sort of jogs out in the T20, and I don't know, it's something about his gait or what it is, or he's a big figure, and he's almost a cult hero. He's been around for years. He's West Country. Yeah. It makes you feel better than Lewis Goldsworthy, which seems really harsh on Lewis Goldsworthy. It's not his fault, it's height.
Craigo was virtually taking guard before Greener had even left the wicket. It was, he was straight out there, big black gloves, almost like sort of boxing gloves up there like that.
Chomping at the bit.
Yeah, but so for his one not out. But it's a good point. I mean, they always, with the run-in and the imposing figure, you sort of look at the 1%ers, as they call them.
And Warwick should probably think, this guy might swing a big old boundary. Although Lewis Goldsby still can with classy timing, they think, his big old swing, he's going to miss, hit one, edge one, it could go anywhere. There you go.
Yeah, it's definitely a point that worth thinking about. They always thinking about these things.
Because I was asking you if Ball or Meredith was going to go 10 or 11. That was my worried stage. With 2 of us guys like, Shep, who's going to be Ball or Meredith? You're like, don't worry, Harry, we're not going to need them, Chief.
Not going to get there. All through the summer on this podcast, we've been advocating the selection of Tom Abel, saying that the time will come when we need Tom Abel's nous, his technical ability, his ability to find the gaps on a pitch, which potentially isn't an absolute road to bat on. Last night, we saw that 51 off 31 for Aves, and we gutted he wasn't there till the end. But I mean, he's been scoring runs in the Blast this year, but they've been hard to come by, and they've not been at a strike rate of 164. It's been more sort of down the 115, 120 mark, but a lot more fluent last night. And Mr. Somerset turns up when Somerset need him.
Yeah, agreed. Class night, wasn't it? There were 2 shots to me that stood out for Tom Abel. It was the sweep he absolutely nailed off Jake Lintott. Late in the over, Sean Dickson did very similarly, in between deep square and deep mid wicket, which you don't see a hard sweep for 4 along the ground at Somerset very often. There's a reverse sweep for 4, and there's a slog sweep for 6, but I can't think many nailing it in a gap, and he only bowled 1 over. And there was that sort of straight pull off the seamer from the river end. It wasn't a cross-batted pull. It was almost like a back foot punchy pull type shot over deep mid wicket into Somerset stand, block 1, I think. And I just thought, wow, the class of the man. And then he tried it again and over later, and Shep was like, no, don't do that. But he looked quality.
And we had a Tom Abel inside out lofted extra cover drive, which
off a seamer. Yeah. I don't remember doing off a seamer as much as off a spinner. He whacked that, didn't he?
Yeah. Sexiest shot of the game. Tom Abel lofted inside out extra cover drive. So Abe's got runs, and then the main event,
Mm.
coming for the hour, Sean Dickson again, just showing this incredible ability to do a Ben Stokes, whoever you want to compare him to pull these innings out of his hat when they're most needed is just incredible. 71 not out, 26 balls, 43 minutes, 5 fours, 6 sixes, which is 3 times more than, well, everybody else only hit 2 between them. The rest of the Somerset batters and Birmingham/Warwickshire/Birmingham Bears/Bears, striking at 273, comfortably the best in the match. I mean, what a journey this guy's been on. We signed him a few years ago to be the rock-solid opener in Championship cricket. Doesn't work out for him in that. And then I think Lammers might have had a bit of a poor run of scores in T20 cricket in early 2023. Dicko, to everyone's kind of shock, is scoring runs in the middle order for the seconds consistently in the T20s, gets the nod, and the rest is history. Talk about finals day, top scoring, semi-finals, finals. And he's just played so many great innings over the sort of 2 or 3 years that he's been a mainstay in that middle order. I mean, it's incredible.
I still think, and even then, I still sort of think that our normal approach, either Smead or Banton or TKC goes big, and you get a decent score, and everyone else bats around them, and if in the unlikely circumstances that none of them come off, you've got Abel and Dickson to sort of stabilise the innings, and if that doesn't work, then you got Green and Gregory, but this innings was way beyond the sort of stabilisation effort, wasn't it? I mean, it was right above and beyond that famous Lammonby innings and the Van der Merwe at Bristol, and I mean, just anything that was anywhere near him was going out of the ground or to the boundary extremely hard. It was incredible.
And this was without Laird's deploy dropping him 2-3 times
Yes.
on the same wicket as he got 80 odd, 30 odd balls. Without that missed dump in that game, I think, and Laird's deploy having the biggest personal stinker we've ever seen in Blast history.
I mean,
but
we need to put our foot down. Well, Somerset need to put their foot down and stop Sky taking over the Gimlet Hill scoreboard.
Yeah,
with the stupid, simplistic scoreboard. Because
totally agree.
You don't know how
what's going on.
Well, I really wanted to know. Like, you don't know the bowling figures without looking at your phone. You don't know what how many balls the guys. I didn't realise he'd faced that few balls going towards the end. I mean, I thought he'd maybe faced 35, 40.
It was as he walked to the interview, Shep. Do you remember? I think I said to him just casually, "Dicko, unbelievable knock. Are you tired after that or something?" And he goes, "I only faced 19 balls or so."
Yeah.
All right. I thought that was a great line. I thought his interviews are brilliant, by the way. Actually, have a look back. The line I noted down was, "I'm the one taking all the accolades," and he said something, and I enjoy it, of course. But it's such a team effort. They always say the sort of the team player stuff, but generally he was buzzing, like a massive grin on his face, because he is an underrated player for Somerset. And the thing, I mean, I'm still fuming about Ben Green and Casey Aldridge, gutted, whatever word you want to use, about those two leaving. I know there's this chat about him buying a house in Langport and being happy in Langport, but there's still a lot of chat that he might get a Derbyshire or Glamorgan. And I just think, imagine after this, how gutting's that? Like, I mean, how we're losing all these players. I mean, we should be buzzing. I don't want to bring a downer, but I mean, we still haven't sealed the contracts for these players, and it's September now. Like, that's worrying. I don't know what we're waiting on. Why we're not just getting on with it.
I mean, let's talk about the transfer. I don't know, but looking at it from outside, he's doing all his sports psychology stuff outside of cricket. So he's looking to expand that. He is well on the way to becoming a legend in white ball cricket for Somerset. It would make sense to me. I don't know if I was in his shoes. I would say, give me a 3-year white ball contract. I'll go off and do my sports psychology stuff.
Yeah,
I'll play in the Blast, I'll play in the 100, I'll play in the One Day Cup, and then the rest of the time I'll do my own thing. That to me,
Yeah.
because let's be honest, if you're watching that as a franchise manager or
Yeah.
owner or whatever, you got to be thinking, this guy's good. I bet he's not going to be that
Yeah.
expensive as well. I mean, so I don't know if that's something that appeals to him, leaving his family to go off for a few weeks here and a few weeks there to play some franchise cricket. But I mean, they talk about the money ball and all of this. I mean, Sean Dickson's got to be the ultimate money ball player. I can't think of a better value guy to have in your team.
And he's not going to play Championship next week, is he? He's not going to play Red Ball anymore, I don't think. We've got enough youngsters coming through. He can just prioritise white ball now. With Finn Hill and Thomas Rue and even Josh Thomas, we've got young lads.
Yeah.
They're going to play Championship. That ship has sailed, I think. Every time Gibbo interviews him, there's some sort of, we signed you as a Red Ball opener and now you're this white ball middle over. And Dicko sort of just shrugs his shoulders and sort of smiles. And I think he knows it's coming.
But, I mean,
Sorry, I was going to say, so for the avoidance of doubt, I have nothing to do with the contract negotiations and this sort of thing. But it's interesting that, similar age, isn't he, to Davey? And Davey was, I think, is looking to expand and diversify his career and get into coaching and this sort of thing. And Leicester were offering him a 3-year contract. So I think
Thomas's mate. Yeah,
it's interesting what you say about giving him a 3-year white ball contract, because I think it would be the length of the contract as much as anything else that would be important, and it's not an obvious thing before last night necessarily to give 38-year-olds 3-year contracts, but this week we've seen Dickson do that and Bopara do what he did for Northampton, and you almost think age is a number, isn't it?
Well, I genuinely think, I mean, Harry, you'll find this out when you got kids. You'll find, and Peter, I'm sure you'll back me up on this. Once you have kids and you mature and you find a family, you'll find that a lot of stuff doesn't really matter, and you don't sweat the little stuff anymore.
Ben Duckett said that in an interview, actually.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? When you're playing cricket, it doesn't matter as much, and I think that helps.
Yeah,
it relaxes you, and you can go out and just play natural game without kind of thinking, you see kids like, oh, focus, I've got to be really focused, and I've got to put all my energy into it, and they just end up tying themselves up in knots and not being able to do anything. Whereas Gary Anderson was one just to go off on the darts. He had a couple of kids and he came back and he was just a happy, smiley bloke, loving the game, loving the fact that he was a professional darts player, forgetting all the pressure, going up there, playing darts with his mates here, there and everywhere, and then all of a sudden he started winning titles.
Do you think the psychologist thing with Dickson as well? Since he started doing that, how cool is he at the crease? Like, you can't underestimate the mental game. Most of they've all got talent. They've all got talent in their arms, in their legs, in their hand, eye, whatever. But up here is where, like, I don't know, maybe a younger player might have got out in that situation. Seeing 12s and over on the board, seeing the pressure of the fielders, getting sledged at, whatever it is. But Dickson just shrugs his shoulders, looks so casual. And like Davies is taking so long between balls. And Dicko said to us in the post-match interview before that last over, all he said was 3 sixes. 3 sixes will win the game.
Yeah.
And Barnard runs out Davies, different field every blinking ball, and he just hits him for 6. And he waits 2 minutes, goes again. No cut off in the last over, and his psychology, fair play, is working wonders.
Some people I've heard it said about Bopara, as may or may not be true, but I have heard it said that he's a phenomenal player when his contract's up for renewal, and that's the kind of reverse of what we're saying here about relaxing and that sort of stuff. So you could argue the last thing to give Bopara is a 3-year contract, because you'll get a good innings when he's 43. I think Dickson is a different sort of person. But psychology can work a number of ways. Some people thrive on that immense pressure of having to perform in the moment, and some perform when they don't have to worry about the contract. And I guess this is one of the things that you have to judge as a director of cricket about how you organise the contracts and the motivations to play to the psychological strengths or weaknesses of your individual players.
You'll be able to ask Mike Mike Bradley about that. He knows a few things about that when you meet him on Tuesday.
Yeah, how about this? How about this, Harry, for a bit of name dropping? On Tuesday, I agreed to appear in a panel up in London for a charity cricket event, not realising quite who else was there. I'm a late replacement for someone rather
Nice,
eminent,
yeah.
and also on the panel is Mike Brearley,
Nice.
and we're being interviewed by Mike Atherton.
Nice. So you're going back to London already. You've just moved down to Somerset. I thought you were going to say they're going to be your first guests in your new Sean Dickson suite, but no, it's
I'll see. I'll see if I can bring them back. Yeah, no, this is just Tuesday evening, so I'm going to have to miss the sort of the afternoon evening session of
yeah.
the Yorkshire game. But there you go.
Is this going to be live stream? Can we all tune in and have a look?
I don't know. I probably not. I think it's
Oh,
one of
well.
these sort of exclusive things in a London bank for people with a lot of money to try and raise money for a South African charity, which the old Middlesex bowler Vince van der Bijl runs. He does some amazing stuff in the townships promoting sport.
Cool. Oh, excellent. Well, do let us know how that goes. Just go back to the players thing. Is great. Johnny Bairstow is the best, easiest in the world.
I was going to mention Bairstow.
All you got to do is slag him off in the paper, and then he goes
Love
up
it.
400.
That Yorkshire Rose is not
comical to the point where you just go, "Oh, I didn't like Johnny Bairstow's new haircut. He's rubbish. Oh dear. You know, just the 2019 World Cup, wasn't it?
Darren Stevens wasn't Darren Stevens another one who every time he was going to have no contact for next year, he'd do something else special, like that 200 when Miguel Cummins was one out the other end or something stupid, and he'd just go ballistic when he's 41, then 42, then 43. You got to give him another year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Dixon's not the kind of player to get. I don't think he's ever been injured apart from when he did his finger
and the Oval.
Was it Gus Atkinson broke his finger
at
the Oval? Just 3-4 years.
That was the making of Josh Davey the opener, mind. That maybe did us a favour in the long run. We won a few games with Josh Davey the opener. As bad as it sounds.
Yeah, do it. It's crazy.
There's so many talking points from last night. There's so many little shifty bits that you forget, and then it keeps coming back to me in the middle of the night. I was like, oh, remember that moment. And I was talking to someone else different in a different pub last night. Do you remember that moment? Do you remember that? That's what I love about these incredible knockout games.
I was anxious about Shep's Airbnb booking.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I asked you about that big game.
Thank you. Yeah, save my Airbnb booking. So yeah, I shall endeavour to read the small print and the window of cancellation next time I book my finals day digs to make sure that the cancellation cut-off is after the quarter-final that we play.
We have also missed one more Sean Dickson thing, which I think people will forget. I always remember Kay Shoulders' catch off Adam Rossington in the final. Now, this wasn't as good, but it arguably could be nearly as important in this game. Sam Hain is one of their best players. He can be a little bit slow and selfish, arguably. Choose it seems a harsh thing to say. Takes a few balls to get going, maybe a bit of a David Milan. Can be out for 2 off 10, but can also then suddenly get 80 off 35 balls. That catch extra cover was rocketing. And Sean Dickson isn't seen to be one of the best fielders in the side. He doesn't do a lot wrong. He's pretty reliable with his hands. I'd say his hands are brilliant.
Yeah. He's normally deployed. Yeah, it surprises him at cover because he's normally
on the boundary, isn't he?
On the boundary, yeah.
Square boundaries, yeah.
I think maybe TKC coming in has sort of taken that away from him because who are our 5? It's Abel Smead, Overton, TKC, and one more.
I don't think Lammonby fielded at all last night. I thought we might have someone fake an injury just to get one of our best fielders, Lammonby, on the pitch.
And
Golders is at point nearly all the time. Jake Ball would be behind the wicket.
Maybe it was Jake Ball down at fine leg.
Short, third or fine leg. Yeah,
cover. Maybe that was it. I still haven't watched it back yet. I'm going to do that today.
I watched the highlights back quite a lot.
No, I've got it
with different people. Each pub we stopped at, it was let's watch the highlights of this on the phone. Let's see that again.
I got the full match recorded on Sky, so I'm gonna. What else? What better way to spend a rainy Sunday? Which is unfortunate for Somerset women because they're supposed to be taking on the Blaze at Taunton Vale today. and that looks like it's going to do well to not be a washout, which is a shame because they need to win.
They got some momentum. Yeah, Danny
Yeah,
Gibson
they had a
back as
good
well.
win.
Yeah,
I didn't really keep up with it, but they had a good win up at Old Trafford in the week. So
yeah, I watched quite a
keeping
lot of
that.
that. Good game of cricket. I thought it was one of those where, Somerset women have bottled a few games this season from really good positions. The batting lineup have just collapsed. We thought they can't not win this. They can't lose
Yeah,
this, and they have. But having that Danny Gibson in the middle order, a bit of extra beef alongside Wellington to
yeah.
beat at 6 and a 5-4.
Beef
I think it was.
Wellington.
Thought you
Beef
like that.
Wellington.
Good
Beef
spot. Yeah,
Wellington.
nearly got that past you.
There we go. Beef Wellington.
Can't get it past the president. Oh, he's going to say.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah.
So we've
Anything
got
else on that?
Lancashire then.
Yes, finals day. Let's talk about that.
They
Mm.
look strong,
Well,
mind.
no chance of any split loyalties in the Wanless contingent with Kent being knocked out, so we'll be fully behind Somerset.
No,
That is
Phil
correct.
Salt.
And actually,
no, just
last night was a really, really important occasion in the transition, I think, of Wanless Junior out of this Kent mindset and into understanding why Somerset is a super special county. He did come back and tell his mum it was an extraordinary performance and what a team and all of that. So there we are, progress.
Yeah.
Kent looked good though. I was playing for Somerset Stragglers at Dean yesterday afternoon, just before the quarter final. But I managed to get the last hour over a drink. We watched the last hour, and Kent, bloody hell, Kent ran Lancashire close. If Liam Livingston was picked for the ODI, and to be honest with you, from an England point of view, I would have had Liam Livingston over Jacob Bethel as a batting and bowling all rounder in that ODI team. That's a separate debate, but. Anyhow, without Liam Livingston, I think Lancashire win that. And Lancashire might lose that game. And generally, you'd say Lancashire are a lot stronger than Kent. So that was an interesting game worth watching back. But they're not going to have Phil Salt or Joss Butler. And probably not Saki with Mahmood, maybe not Luke Woods. There's always call-ups with injuries and whatever for the T20 internationals against South Africa in the next week or so. But yeah, they will be a bit depleted. Will we have Bants back?
Good.
We hope
So
so. But
Yeah.
it's in between Old Trafford and Trent Bridge. So Edgbaston's not a million miles away from.
it's en route, isn't it? Almost Trent Bridge, little detour.
Yeah. I mean, I think we plan to be without Banton, and if he's made available.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think I said to you, Shep, last night. I said to Pepsi last night. Actually, I'd have kept him at 3. I'd have had Lammers opening.
Yeah.
I said this to Rui as well. No disrespect to Rui. I think they brought Rui in because he's a better keeper than Pepsi, which is fair. How much difference that makes in T20 is up to you, but I think keepers can be quite important.
Well, I
I
also
don't
think
know.
Pepsi's really valuable in the outfield as well, with his height on the boundary and just his
His
general
fielding's
fielding.
improved a lot.
Yeah.
I think when he joined us to now, fair play to Paul Tweddle, Max Waller, bits and bobs maybe, but his fielding's a lot better than when he said at the start.
Look at where he was at short third in the final. You don't normally have your business fielders at short third. Yeah, that's where you're going to hide somebody.
Every time you ask him about that, he just says he got it wrong. He didn't move his feet. Anyone else would have moved his feet 2 yards. He gone 2 hands. He said he just stuck out a mix. He didn't move his feet. But yeah,
Hey, all's well as well. But you know what I mean? With old Daniel Sams smashing it everywhere, you'd have your best fielders sort of around that semicircle between long off and square leg, and he's down there at third. And now 2 years later, he's right in the business area, down on the boundary with Craigo. They probably identified that, saying go back to our does Craigo run a single 2.4 or 1.2 seconds or whatever faster than Lewis Goldsworthy? It's value having an extra 2 or 3 inches on the boundary. Because it could it'll get you. It probably may get you 1 or 2 wickets a season.
he didn't actually play that good an innings by Tom Cadmore standards last night. That was an interesting one. I don't think I like him opening though. I prefer Smeed and Lammerby the right left hand if there isn't a Smeed and Banton. Tom Cadmore just come at 3. Well, I don't know if Rue's an opening bat. He's not massively a T20 bat. I think he'll even admit that his brother's going to come in for him. Sure, if it wasn't the under-19 series, I think they'd have gone Thomas. Yeah, the Bangladesh under-19 series at Loughborough, fair enough, had him busy, but
I mean, we could have recalled him if we wanted him.
Well, I don't know. How does that work? How strict is that? We can't recall Banton, but we. Why does a county overseed under-19s?
I think under-19s gets trumped if you want your player to play for the county. I think they get
captaincy or not captain makes no difference to that. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. But yeah, it is interesting. I'm with you. I do like Kohler Campbell better at 3.
Again, in walking out, like Craig walking out, when you see a wicket go, big old
Yeah.
Tom Kohler-Campbell comes out, who smashes it miles, and he's got that run-on sort of gait that's pretty imposing.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool figure to have at number 3.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, Lammonby or Rue, I'll be
They
happy
won't
with
change
either.
it now, you wouldn't have thought. But I mean,
I know,
Abel and
I
Dicko
think
bat
they
so well together in the middle orders. I love Abel and Dicko against spin at 4 and
Yeah.
5. I always think Abel's better at 4 than 3. We don't necessarily need Abel in the power play.
You need Rue to 3. This is difficult. You don't want to go changing those roles in that batting order too much, because it's worked for so many years with virtually identical personnel doing the same job week in, week out.
Yeah. The only other slight argument I'm thinking now, actually, just thought this to my head now, because the power play could be even more important at Edgbaston because the decks aren't as good. They're used, what we have, how many overs on finals day, 120 odd overs.
Yeah.
Actually, might it be more important for the big boys to bash it in the power play because you can't really hit them over the boundary quite as easily when it's used pitch. Big-ish outfield. Hopefully we'll be in the middle wicket. They haven't used them all up for the bloody 16.4 in August. Hopefully we'll have a decent middle wicket for finals day. But yeah, TKC hit 6s as well as anyone in the world. He was talking the other day about watching Curran Pollard bat and how he swings at 80% in matches and swings at 100% in training to then improve his bat speed. I thought that was fascinating insight. And I said to him, "Oh, that should have been 100%. The one you got out to." He's like, "Yeah, you're right, actually, Harry," because he just clothed it long on, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, so Somerset facing Lancashire, 11 o'clock. I think the club have just started to email communications out about finals day tickets, and poor old Spencer last night had conflicted emotions. Obviously delighted that Somerset won, but then gutted that he's going to be running the bus again. So
he loves it. 10 o'clock bus emails were coming out this morning.
Yeah. So and getting verbally abused by 2 or 3 supporters last year at the Metro Bank final, who'd just gone off into town in the pub and ignored the various the coach is going now, the game's off, sorry, and they just turned up at a virtually empty Trent Bridge and stranded in Nottingham, but not Spencer's fault. Quickly talk about the other quarterfinals then. Surrey versus Northampton.
Oh,
how long can you do a Boise laugh for to he was a Somerset fan, wasn't he? John Chalice, God rest his soul, old Boise. Somerset, Northampton's 2 for 1, made 154 in a 14 over game. Surrey falling 7 short, and the aforementioned Ravi Bopara, 105 not out off 46 balls.
And Chris Jordan not allowed to face the ball in the last over. How ridiculous is that? Chris Jordan, who's I think twice won Surrey games with a 6 off the last ball, batted 6 for Hobart Hurricanes, won games for England hitting 6s, and hits them in good areas and right left hand combination. I thought that was ridiculously selfish, stupid batting from Sam Curran to not take the one twice in the over. I couldn't believe that. I was trying to BBC Sport Live text it and just in disbelief, like just take the one, Sam Curran. You're not like the best player in the world. Just give Chris Jordan the strike. I know you're on 60 odd, but if you can't hit a boundary, let Chris Jordan have a go. Didn't get that.
I was struggling to keep up with that because I was at Coldplay at Wembley, which is absolutely fantastic. So
Jamie Overton was there at the same time, which I thought was almost a bit sad, really, that you got one of Surrey's. I think Jamie Overton was at Coldplay on the same night. I thought
the world boss or the universe boss, Chris Gale, was there. He was in a box with Michael Vaughan and Archie. We weren't in a box; we were down on the floor. But a hell of a get out. Our seats were like 2 off the aisle, so as soon as it finished, off, and then our exit was straight at the top of the steps down to Wembley Way. So me and Harry just literally got straight out, power walked down Wembley Way, and then sat on a tube that was waiting. Absolutely fantastic.
Are we trying to say we should do that with the Joel Garner gates in a kayak or a canoe waiting in the river tone?
So pleased that I wasn't queuing until 3 in the morning for a tube.
Is that an idea for Sarah and Virginia for ops at the ground?
It was quite slow getting out of Taunton last night.
The idea is to get
But that's good, isn't it? You want to soak up the atmosphere. You don't want to get out quickly last night. After that, you just want to soak it up and keep talking in the queues.
I was there till about...
Certainly, if you want to end up in Mambo's with Alex Davis, then...
Jeff and I nearly did a podcast last night, Peter. We were gonna do it on the pitch.
bloody Wi-Fi at the ground is so bad. I would have probably been there till about 2 a.m. trying to upload it. But yeah, I mean,
Well, I think
Chris Martin is a West Country boy and he's a cricket fan. So why can we not get him to
yeah.
play the Cooper Associates County Ground?
Plays for Eid Cricket Club. Still gets the odd friendly out. Marcus Mumford at Dunsford, the old west of Exeter pop singer rivalry there.
I played at Eid once.
New ground now, I think. I'm not playing the new.
1999. This would have been the old ground, which was a bit of a field.
Tiny.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have a hill, a sort of a hill up the side, and you'd hit one over the edge onto the hill, and you kind of have to crawl through the edge, go up the hill. Yeah, my old man got Scott. He was a good player, my dad, and this was sort of towards the end of his career. He was England schoolboys trialist, much better player than me, than I ever was. And yeah, he got done by a beamer, lost it, and got smacked on the head, blood everywhere. And this was the weekend of the eclipse, so everybody's here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, ambulance had to come from Dorset to take him to get stitched up. So he still keeps reminding me about that. Retired Hurt 4 or whatever it was. Hampshire beat Durham. Let's go back to talking about cricket. I mean, they're going to be strong with the side that they got. I mean,
yeah, stat for you. I remember this stat again. I was on the live text BBC for that game as well. 88 for none was their power play. Toby Albert is a young lad who you wouldn't think would open the batting for Hampshire with all their, their class and their order. James Vince drops down to 3 now to let him open. Him and Chris Lynn looked unbelievable. And Durham's attack's not bad. Like, I think Matthew Potts' first over went for 1 off the top of my head, and then they got 87 off the next 5 overs, which is ludicrous. We thought the power play last night was pretty high, but I think Hampshire, for me, are now second favourites. Their medium paces with the ball are so good. Liam Dawson didn't bowl brilliantly at Durham, but he's quality. But you got Benny Howe, Curry, Wheel, Wood, and they don't bowl quick. They're all Jake Ball pace or slower. Josh Davey pace maybe, but they just bowl change-ups, and they're so clever with where they go into the pitch. I would actually make Hampshire the most dangerous side at Father's Day now, and we might have to hope for a Craig Overton, Josh Davey, Ben Green swinging them over long on deep mid wicket sixes again. I'll never forget that semi-final.
It'll be a hell of a way for Greener to sign off if he manages to do that again. I'll just have a look at the bookmakers. Make Hampshire favourites 13-5. Somerset and Lancashire both 4-1, and Northampton 92.
Yeah.
So actually bet Somerset at 7-2 before they were through, so they've drifted out despite that. So, bookmakers.
I guess that's as much about Hampshire playing Northants that it is about anything else.
But also, is that the first time there's been 2 sides from the North group in about 5 years?
Yeah.
Feels like it, yeah.
Lancs are generally there. I mean, Northants doesn't really feel like North. It's like East Midlands, but that's a separate debate.
Yeah.
Next year, the ECB geography is going to be horrendous again next year. What are we? We're the South and West Central group, aren't we?
South, West, Midlands, Central, North, East, West.
Ridiculous. And then the South group's just Londonish. And then Hampshire, that's an hour and a half from us, is not in the same group, which is ludicrous. Probably our second closest game is not in our group.
Yeah, they got to put the line somewhere, I guess.
We'd rather go up the M5 than the little rush to Southampton.
Yeah, well, going into Worcester, I was surprised how easy it is getting up to Worcester.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Straight up 2 hours and off, and you're pretty much there. So we'll be there next year. Anything more then? I mean, Yorkshire tomorrow. We talked about that on the last pod. From accounts, there are going to be a few changes, I would imagine. Now, be resting bowlers for finals day, and also because apparently some of them were basically walking wounded last night. So,
do Lewis and Craig both rest? Do we expect now?
I would imagine. I don't know. Would Gregory just play as a bat? Gregory open with Vaughan.
Yeah. Well, do we let Josh Dave? Do we need Josh Dave to play? I'd say.
No,
I know you might say
Canada.
He was there last night, wasn't he?
Running on his bit. Yeah, he was there last night. Flew back from Canada. I don't know if he's going to fly back today, but I would imagine that he's not going to play at finals day. So you are playing for Somerset.
I'd say get Davey in the championship this week, even if it is his last game.
Yeah,
for Somerset.
Davey, Casey Aldridge also comes into contention as well. If we're
even just those two, I know they're leaving, but giving relief to our bowlers to rest for Saturday. But then I don't want to neglect the championship. But
no, because if you look at the last 3 games, Yorkshire is the most winnable, probably.
And Warwickshire could upset Surrey, you never know.
Yeah,
I said to Alex Davies, the last thing I said to him is, you bloody go and beat Surrey, please. That would be unbelievable if you can beat Surrey at their place. Make it exciting in September again.
Yeah. We've got Hampshire at Taunton the game after. That's going to be tough. And then Essex away the last game of the season, which would generally depend on what sort of surface is prepared at Chelmsford. If they're safe, I expect it to be an absolute road. If they need to win, I expect it will be a Turner, which will play into our hands just as much as theirs because they'll want a result. So will we, I suppose.
Yeah, Harmer and Critchley, I suppose, versus Leach and Vaughan.
Leach and Vaughan, and maybe Thomas and Goldsworthy as well.
That'd be interesting.
Josh Thomas comes in contention. We don't know what sort of
this week.
Going to be.
Josh Thomas and Finn Hill this week. Don't forget Finn Hill's off spin. I know he didn't bowl on the one they. I did ask James Rose, why did you not bowl Josh Thomas on the one they cut? It's just the amount of options. I think Tom Lammerby bowled so well as a bonus bowler in the top 6. I guess. I wonder if he'll bowl more in the Championship now. Actually, the last 3 games, I reckon he might bowl some more overs. He bowled so well in that one they cut.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. No listeners' questions, so I didn't ask for any. So I think we can knock.
Twitter's gone absolutely mental, Mike. There's probably a few on there. There's a few random mentions and random questions.
There's probably some in there. I apologise if you did ask me something, and I've missed it. But yeah, just so much going on with everything. Just scrolling through my phone now. Bit of debate about the greatest ever T20 innings by a Somerset player. Got Roloff's knock up at Gloucester a few years back. Riley's 93 odd to get in the quarter final. Obviously, Lammerby against Gloucester and Dicko yesterday.
I think that might be up there. I think that might be above him, you know.
Doing it when it really matters in a one-off knockout game like this.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of discounting Riley's because it didn't really matter. If he'd got out for naught, we'd still won that game.
We were backing him anyway. Yeah, agreed.
Sean, Lammerby against Gloucester, we were under a lot of pressure, and then Dicko last night, ditto. Probably Dicko's a knockout game.
Knockout game overtakes Roloff's. I know it's a good game at Bristol, but the knockout game trumps that.
Yeah, definitely.
And we weren't. I don't think we were favourites with 19 off the last. I think we got to admit that they were favourites.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we'd have been about 25 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, go and have a look at that.
With Craig on strike as well. I mean, we talked about the wide earlier, didn't we? But
yeah, Craig getting off strike as well. Oh, we could talk about this all day. I'm gonna go and rewatch it now. Rewatch the full Sky broadcast.
On mute. Try and rewind on BBC Sounds and get Gibber and Mark Davies.
Try and get BBC Sounds just to sync it. But I normally like going to sit in the BBC commentary box, just listen to Gibber and Mark Davies. But I was not moving. As soon as I got me pint of Thatcher's Gold, my 1 pint I can have when I'm driving, I was sort of sat there next to you. The chap from the T20 Blast podcast, can't remember his name. Sorry.
Jar.
So yeah, he was sort of trying to shake my hand and say, "Well done, guys." Yeah. I was like, "No, I'm not jinxing it. We can still lose this.
The Warwickshire media lot around us as well was entertaining. They were sort of all chip, and then they went. Yeah. They were nice pranks. I don't think there's any beef with Warwickshire, though. Was there 30 fans kicked out the Trade Nation in the end? It was a bit football-y atmosphere in the end. It was a bit sort of bears and football and shouty, but it's a Saturday night. It's September. It's a knockout game. You sort of slightly understand that.
Saturday night. Well, yeah, they're going to get the train down at like 9 or 10 in the morning. Spend the day sampling the various ciders of Somerset, which they're not used to drinking. These,
stronger than the Warwickshire.
These 4 or 5% ciders. They're not used to drinking those, and they're going to get a bit lary in the evening. But it is what it is. Finals day beckons then. I'll be there bright and early. I'm doing Salisbury races evening meeting on Friday night and then driving up, staying the night in Birmingham. I'll be there. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Some breakfast Saturday morning. I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. I'm sure I'll be able to wangle my way into the Somerset Directors box again. Do you know who's hosting this year? Tim Munton last year, wasn't it?
I don't know. I've not heard the sort of details yet. Normally we share the room with whoever we're playing in the semi-final, so it'll be us and Lancashire together. We've been with Surrey the last 2 years, which is and beaten them both times.
We always I think we get on well with Surrey, don't we?
We do. Yeah, no, we do. So Lancashire, I don't know so many people. up there, and of course there's quite a lot of politics going on up there from the
Oh
for
yeah.
the people who run the board and the people who watch the cricket
So
are two. If you did a Venn diagram, there's not a lot of overlap, I think.
So when you're in the box with the Lancashire guys, then are they going to say like, right, should we have a vote on what sandwiches we want, and then just completely ignore what you want, and then
Probably.
just do what they want?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
Bumble tweeted yesterday actually saying he loves the quarterfinals. He'd love to be back at finals day, and I think Sky aren't paying him to be commentating anymore, which is a real shame because he does know the county game and he's interested.
Can we invite Bumble as a guest of Somerset?
Yes, get him on the
Yeah, all
podcast.
right. I'll see what we can do. That's my
Yeah.
little task.
And see if he can get him to trip over the box as Freddie's doing Sweet Caroline as well. With it.
That'd be brilliant. What a man Bumble
Yeah,
is.
that's your job, Peter. That's your one mission
right.
for finals day.
All right, see what we can do. And
Him and Vic Marksby.
I'm just looking out of my window over towards Taunton Vale, and the skies are pretty clear and dry at the moment. Now, I can't give a report on what the surface water is like or anything like that, but it doesn't look too bad at the moment. So I might try and sort of drop by there in the afternoon. Otherwise, as a man of semi-leisure, I shall be in place tomorrow for the county championship.
You'll be on Signs Direct, ordering the Sean Dickson party cider bar.
Oh yes,
and screwing it on tomorrow morning when it arrives.
7 days of Somerset cricket in 8 days. If you think the women today,
it's
the
all
4 day and finals day.
Yeah, you can cope with it after the emotional ringer of last night. Get yourself down to the Vale if it dries out. Support Sophie Love for the girls in their quest for Metro Bank glory.
Duke's balls return tomorrow, though. No more Kookaburra crap.
Twitter alert set up on your phone as well.
And it'll be a 10:30 start, won't it? Because we're in
September.
September.
Yeah, don't forget that. Good point.
Well. Right. If I can sneak out of work and work remotely, I'll be there tomorrow. Can't do any of the rest of the week, but finals day beckons. See you all at Edgeworth on Saturday. Another day of it. Cheers, guys. Thanks for listening.
Cheers. See ya.